So guys, this is the cheapest R32 Skyline in the country and it unmistakably reflects that. I bought it from someone who bought it from someone else that let it sit in a barn and rot away. Luckily, this R32 does of course have an engine in it, but will it run? In today's video, we're gonna try to get this thing running for the very first time. Wish us luck. In the last video, we bought the cheapest R32 Skyline in the country, and the previous owner was very reluctant to negotiate on a fair price. This R32 Skyline was in the process of being parted out, and considering the condition of the car, we honestly may have paid too much. There were a number of parts missing from the interior, there was also a mini forest growing in it, and every single panel has been damaged, which is far from ideal. Most people would consider parting out this Skyline, however I believe with determination and the knowledge we've gained over the past few years, we can bring this car back to its former glory. Today we're going to find out if the motor runs, and in the last video we discovered a huge hole in the fuel tank, so we're going to start there. Alright guys, while we were cleaning the car in the last video, we discovered something. So this is going to be the first thing that we need to fix before we try to start running the car. Have a look under here. Just have a look at this. Can you see that? Can you see that? Is it coming up on camera?
Yeah.
There is a big hole in the fuel tank.
Oh my.
So the first thing that we're going to have to do is remove the fuel tank.
GG.
We also just discovered something. The boot doesn't even open. Look at this, man. We can't even get the boot open. So I guess we're gonna have to do that first. We can't access the fuel tank without getting into the boot. For some reason the lever doesn't do anything, and even with Daniel pulling up on the boot while I pull the lever, the boot will still not budge. Luckily the Skyline doesn't have any back seats, so we have clear access to this panel which required a few 10mm bolts to remove. There any secret parts in here, you reckon? Oh, it doesn't look like it, to be honest. Yeah, it looks empty, man. All right, here we go, Daniel. Do you reckon we're unboxing dust or diamonds?
Dust.
Dust? Oh.
And spiders.
My God, dude.
Oh.
What?
It smells like cigarettes.
Oh, it stinks. What? It looks like the latch isn't even connected, bro. Bro, there's like all these nails in there. There's like weird like paint funnels, receipts, pens, but there's no JDM parts. I was really hoping that we would find some JDM goodies in here, but looks like we unboxed dust, boys. I used some pliers and a flathead screwdriver to hyperextend the latch so the boot would open. However, we had no luck, so I had to remove the latch, which thank God was surprisingly easy. Look at him.
Let me push it down a bit. GG. And this thing has already been broken into or stolen. 100%.
Pull it up, pull it up. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting out of here. Yes, we got the boot open. Hell yeah. Unfortunately, the boot was filled with junk. We found nothing interesting, so we cleaned the boot out and found some very sus items. I pulled out some pretty suspicious Gatorade bottles. This one's got a hole in a very interesting spot. And it seems like there's more stuff down here. Dude, I can feel so much. Oh, got that. What the hell?
Shank.
I can't even open it. Alright, we have cleaned everything out of the boot and it's looking awesome, guys. Have a sus. Besides all this like orange rust spot stuff, we need to try and get this thing started. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this fuel thingo, fuel top plug or whatever, and we're also gonna remove the fuel tank because we need to weld it up. Luckily, we do have a welder over where Peter is. Say hello, Peter.
Hello.
And we're going to weld the tank up because it's made of metal. So let's remove this thing. Removing the fuel tank was unsurprisingly an easy task. Japanese cars are very easy to work on and this Skyline was no exception. To remove the fuel tank, we started with the fuel pump cover, which was a few 10mm bolts. We also removed the plug connecting the fuel pump to the main harness. And after jacking up the car, we found a shocking discovery. There was another hole in the fuel tank. However, this one was so big, I could almost fit my finger through it. After loosening the two straps holding the fuel tank to the body of the car, we removed the feed line, return line, and charcoal canister line, and then the tank was out. I made sure to give the tank a quick vacuum before I removed the fuel pump, as we don't want too much dirt going in there, and guys, we also lucked out. We're about to remove the fuel pump, and I don't know what to expect. Oh wow, it's immaculate, man.
Point it that way.
Alright guys, I've been cleaning up the fuel tank for the past few hours and have a look at this. It's looking pretty good. So as you can see, this is one of the holes. This one's the bad one, but I've been using the hammer because I've had access to this one through the top of the tank. The gap is way closer now, so all I really need to do is just put a bit of filler over it and should be good. We now finally have the holes sort of like semi-close to each other now, like the two sides of them. We're gonna weld it up now and hopefully we can fill the gaps on the big one. Let's get it. Looks pretty good. Still hot, but not too bad. Without the crazy amount of welding we've done over the past year, this fuel tank repair would have not been possible. Having a welder on standby in the garage is a godsend. Definitely an investment that has paid off. Alright, well, we got the holes all welded up. I'm gonna grind it down probably, just to make sure that the welds are okay, and then spray paint the whole thing in black paint. Should be sweet. After welding and cleaning, we painted the tank and it came out spectacular. Okay, after a little bit of work, we finally have the fuel tank looking like this. It's nice and dry now. Because we have the fuel tank out, we are also replacing the fuel pump. So I've just got the top hat and I'm just going to replace the fuel pump with a Walbro 255. I get all my fuel pumps from TI Performance. They usually have the best priced stuff and everything comes express posted. So let's get this installed. After installing the new 255 fuel pump, I mounted the filler neck and we made quick work of installing the revised fuel tank. It was much harder to install than remove, but now that it's in the car, this was the moment of truth. Will my welds hold up with 15 liters of petrol? I was very nervous. There is no fuel on the ground. There's just a little puddle there because I spilt some out of the jerry can. But it's looking like our welds are pretty good. This was a huge relief. Being able to repair this fuel tank at home in the garage made me feel very grateful. Fuel was now not an issue. The tank was sealed, it now had 15 liters of petrol in it, and all we needed to do now was replace the fluids in the car before we turned the key for the very first time. Before we get started as well, I just want to show you something that I discovered, which isn't really much of a surprise, but it is not going to be ideal trying to get this thing roadworthy as we do have a locked differential. So if you see me spinning this wheel, the other one also moves at the exact same time, which confirms that this car was a drift car and it was drifted, and that's why I guess it's so beat up. My assumption was that the fuel tank was maybe hit in a drifting accident and then the car sort of like shut off and never ran again after that. That would be the most ideal scenario because that means that the engine should technically be okay because they would have taken it off the road as the car just wasn't starting. If it doesn't run, then I'm going to be very sad. We got straight to work by jacking up the car on all four stands for the very first time. I started by draining the transmission fluid, and this was interesting. The fluid came out looking like the gearbox had just been serviced. There was no signs of wear, and we found a similar result with the differential fluid. This made me believe that my theory could be correct and the car was taken off the road after the fuel tank had been punctured, which kept me very optimistic about the engine starting. I then filled the transmission up and the gearbox up with a fluid pump that I bought from Autobahn, which moves the most amount of fluid per press than anything else that I've used. And then we replaced the fuel filter, which was a bit trickier than I thought, considering being able to access it from the engine bay. There were two brackets we had to remove, one being a line holder that keeps everything protected and pointing the right direction, and the other being the fuel filter holder. And after a bit of struggle, we managed to get the fuel filter out. However, the hoses were unsurprisingly damaged, but luckily I had some spare 5/16 line from Raceworks, which I used to replace the dry rotted hose. We got the oil filter off now, we're just draining the oil. Apparently, according to the previous owner, there's no oil in the engine, but everything he's said so far has almost turned out to be a lie. So we're going to drain it and see what the condition's like. I'm really hoping that it's okay because I kind of like this RB20 and I think RB20s are fantastic motors. So let's see what happens. 14 mil, any oil. All right, we've got some oil. Doesn't look like there's any metal coming out, which is good. Look at that, you can see the cam. Doesn't look too bad, eh? Let's fill it up with some oil. This is probably the car's first oil change in 5 to 10 years, maybe longer, considering this car was made in 1989. Hopefully, it's good. I have faith in the RB. We've been preparing this car to start for the past few days now. Replaced the fuel tank, replaced all the fluids in the car. Everything actually surprisingly looked pretty good. Done all the filters. Now it's time to turn the key. Now, I've got a bunch of batteries over here, and I got them all charging. Have a look down here. I don't know, there's like 6 batteries there, so hopefully at least one of them actually works. But yeah, we're gonna connect it up, give it power for the very first time. I'm so freaking nervous, man.
I don't reckon it's gonna start.
I don't think it's gonna start too, but we'll see what happens.
If this starts, like, it's just like too good to be true right now.
This is gonna be the first time we give it power. I'm so nervous, man. Holy crap.
Like, it just looks that bad, but if this starts, if this starts now, everyone in the comment section was wrong.
I know, they're gonna go crazy, man.
Yeah, everyone is wrong.
Big shout out to PJ, because he gave us his fire extinguisher because he thought that we needed it more than him. And he's probably not wrong. Hopefully the terminals reach. Alright, it's positive, here we go. You hear that? I heard something in the car. You heard that? Come.
What was that?
I don't know. My heart is pounding, man.
Now?
I'm just gonna see if it's got ignition.
Yeah, hold on. Nothing at all.
Nothing. That's not good.
Oh no.
We got power though. I could hear some like relays click over. You heard that too, right?
Yeah, I heard some tick. Maybe it was that thing back there in the garage.
We've done everything right at this point. There should be no reason why the car has no power. I had to look over everything, all my work, and we lucked out. It was something simple. Guys, we found the issue. The ignition barrel isn't even plugged in. Look at this. So this is the wiring down here for the ignition barrel. And it looks like this is just disconnected, and there's some wires chopped, probably because, I don't know, this car's had like an alarm or something. But let's connect it up and see if anything happens. Oh, let's see if we get any power. Oh my god! Dude, oh my god! No way! Dude, no way!
Lights! We got lights!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
Oh my... Dude, I'm shaking, man.
Now we're gonna start.
Yeah, now we're gonna turn the key.
Right now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, bro. Oh my god. We got lights! No way, boys.
That's it.
Yeah, this is it. We're gonna check engine light, but...
Let's not check engine light.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I guess from here we're gonna turn the key, man. I can't believe it, man. I'm so scared. If this runs, if it even cranks, I'll be shocked. Oh my god. It's cranking. The motor sounded somewhat healthy from the cranking, however we couldn't hear the fuel pump run, so the car was not getting fuel. I feel like it's not getting fuel. I can't hear the fuel pump at all. Yeah, I literally can't hear the fuel pump. I don't know if it like primes with ignition. I'm gonna take the intake pipe off just in case, because I don't know, maybe the previous owner put something in there to stop like stuff getting in. So maybe there's like a microfiber in the intake. I don't know. We'll take it off and have a look. Or we might have to try put the MAF in. Oh, the MAF. Yeah, I'll quickly take this off and have a look. I've had experiences in the past where cars were not getting fuel when they don't have an air reference, such as a mass airflow sensor, otherwise known as a MAF, or an airflow meter, otherwise known as an AFM. So we plugged in a spare MAF that we had from Lachlan's R32, and we heard the fuel pump prime for the very first time. Usually the mass airflow sensor is something that contributes to allowing a car to put fuel into the motor, and luckily, thanks to Lachlan, we actually have an RB20 mass airflow sensor. So the plug is actually over here too. Look at that. Let's plug it in. Hopefully it starts after this. I don't know, but it doesn't even sound like it's getting any bit of fuel. Oh my god. Oh my god, you hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the fuel pump priming. I was
just
right.
That?
Yeah, just that. That's the fuel pump priming. Could you hear that?
I heard that.
Okay. Dude,
no,
that's...
surely not.
Oh, get back over there.
Are you ready?
It's definitely got fuel. Okay.
Check if it smelled like petrol back there.
Did it?
Double check.
It doesn't smell like petrol, which is
good.
bad. It's not getting fuel. I reckon we'll get some like, what do you call it, starter fluid and spray it in, hopefully it runs. If it runs in starter fluid, that means it's just the injectors. That's a pretty simple fix. Go! Oh! Holy! Go again, go again. Go again. Ready? Ready? Yeah! It sounds kind of healthy too. Oh! Yes! No way, baby! Holy crap! No leaks. It's looking pretty good. Bro, no way! No way! No way! I knew it it would start. I had faith. It doesn't sound too bad too. It sounds a little bit like Rocky, which I'm worried about, and it's not running with an alternator, so I'm gonna turn it off. Doesn't have any coolant in it.
Like how? It's no way, dude. Bro, every time it started, I'm like, oh shit, get back, and then it just kept going. I'm like, wait, what?
I know. I thought that was you still spraying the starter fluid.
Like when you told me to start, I did a bit extra, and I kept going, and then then it started running. I was like, no way. Oh look
Look at this.
Imran.
What? Not bad. No way! It sounds like a tractor, but it runs.
It starts. No.
What are you doing, man?
It's 69.
Guys, I honestly can't believe it. I actually got this thing running. The car still needs a lot of work, so we're gonna get right to it. In the next video, we're gonna focus on getting this thing driving, so stay tuned, like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for part 2. Thanks guys, see you later. Oh!